Welcome into the CHGO White Sox Podcast, coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. We got the full CHGO White Sox crew with me. That's Vinnie Duber, our CHGO White Sox beat writer. You can follow him at Vinnie Duber, and you can read his latest piece up at ALLCITY that was published today about Paul Janish. Man in the middle is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. And thank you to everyone for hanging out with us. Hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as well. It's seemingly, with Kevin Kaduk's recent stat, that we keep growing and growing, and that's great to see. So, tell your brothers, sisters,
your
mom,
daughters,
dad,
sons,
granddaughters, grandpas, neighbors, veterinarians,
the checkout guy or gal at the Jewel.
We could tell producer Sarah. Do you know about CHGO?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Sarah knows
Signs
about
my,
it.
gets my
check.
paychecks, yeah.
Oh, right. You work here. Oh, silly me.
She was very flummoxed by that question.
And we're going to talk today about Liam Hendriks reportedly having his option declined. John Heyman of the New York Post is reporting that the 2024 team option will not be picked up by the Chicago White Sox. We'll discuss that off the bat today. We're going to talk about the White Sox being ranked the worst team in baseball by ESPN, which I find interesting. And tonight, the NBA in-season tournament starts. We'll theorize, hey, should the MLB do something like this? Because they have enough games to try something out with them.
If they want to confuse the hell out of everybody like the NBA seems to be doing, then they should step right up.
Oh, you guys yesterday, or what was this, Tuesday, were saying that baseball is the hardest sport for people to just walk in and understand. So
yeah.
I mean, compared to the sport where you just go end to end and put something in a hoop, it makes sense. Or net.
I guess. Yeah, it's true. I mean, ball hit bat, or bat hit ball,
What if it doesn't?
You're out. It's pretty simple.
See, this is already taking a lot of explanation.
Oh, boy. All right. Let's jump into the first topic. Again, John Heyman reporting of the New York Post that the White Sox will decline Liam Hendriks' option, and that over time, I feel like the $15 million is over 15 years.
I'm
right?
happy to explain it, Sean.
Okay.
I just looked into this the other day, so I'm happy to take it away here. So
why don't you take it and go score on the other end?
Simple as that. Liam Hendriks has a $15 million team option for the 2024 season. If the White Sox pick it up, they will pay him $15 million this year. If they decline that option, he will become a free agent. They will still pay him that $15 million, but it will be paid in yearly installments of $1.5 million over the next 10 years. So, I mean, the decision in general, should what John Heyman reported be the what actually ends up being the case, I don't think is terribly surprising. This is a guy who just had Tommy John surgery, is not expected to pitch much, if at all, in 2024. Now, as you saw last night, Players Union voted Liam Hendriks the AL Comeback Player of the Year. You might not want to bet against Liam Hendriks taking all year to need that recovery before he's back on a big league mound, but that's a different topic. The White Sox, the decision, it seems, in my opinion, came down to, did they want to allocate $15 million of this year's budget to having Liam Hendriks around, or did they want to knock that, to use an NHL term, cap hit, right, down to $1.5 million for not just the 2024 season, but obviously all the season, or the 9 seasons that come after it. I don't think it had been asked of Jerry Reinsdorf. I don't know if it means something to him to either, pay that at once or pay it all over. That money has been spent, right? It's been spent on Liam Hendriks. The question is, does he view those annual budgets as something that needs to be worked with, or is it just that money spent, move on to the next thing? This would seem to indicate maybe that he does like the idea of only, paying $1.5 million to Liam Hendriks in 2024, so that money can be spent. The other $13.5 million of that can be spent elsewhere. But also,
Whit Merrifield,
among other potential options. But also, I'm sure that there's no owner out there who wants to pay a guy not to play. And while this money is the same regardless, we all theorize, and probably we'll get into this in a little bit, that it might be beneficial in some ways to have him around, to have Liam Hendriks around as long as you can. But if he's not going to play, maybe you use that financial freedom to do some other things.
Yeah, no, we knew that this decision was going to come, and I'm glad the White Sox made this decision the way that they did, reportedly, that they did not pick up that money, because we know the budget's going to be tight for the White Sox. As Jerry says, 180 was a lot of money they spent, and I don't know where their budget's going to be this year. But I have a question for both of you guys. Like, is this the end of Liam's White Sox career? Because you're only spending 1.5 on him this next year. Veteran minimum $700,000. You can fit him in for something small and say, hey, here's a little bit of money. You're still on insurance. You still get to get the facility. That's the only thing that I think I would care about, especially with his surgery that he just had. Where is he going to get the rehab? I know he's rich, so he has money to do it, but it'd be better to be at a place, a major league facility, especially he lives in Arizona and the White Sox are there. You can just sign him to a small deal, and maybe he could just be around the players and rehab. And then if he is Liam, like we expect Liam to be, September, Liam.
If he's
again.
a free agent, though, I mean, why can't the Dodgers do that?
Right.
The Dodgers live in, I mean, they share Camelback Ranch.
I mean, yeah, anybody. Yeah, all 30 teams are available. I'm sure somebody's going to bite at Liam Hendriks.
100%.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. If he ends up hitting free agency here, you would think, because we've seen it before across baseball with other players, guys who get 2-year deals or 1 year plus an option deal to spend a full year rehabbing and then be able to play for the team the following year. It would seem to make total sense that every team should want to do this with a guy who has been as fantastic as Liam Hendriks has been at that closer role. The White Sox have a need. They don't have a closer. Now, granted, who knows quite how they're moving the puzzle pieces around to get to 2025, let's say. But I would think that, A, you've got a chance to have Liam Hendriks as part of a pennant race, if you're one of these teams that plans to be in a pennant race next season, and B, you get to have him for the entirety of the year after, it would make a lot of sense to me for any team to go and give him this guy that kind of deal.
And to reiterate some points, you tweeted out again the fact that he's expected to miss most of the 2024 season, recovering from Tommy John surgery. He said that he would like to pitch in 2024, so it wasn't a guarantee that you weren't going to pay him completely not to play, because he's a psychopath. Just won the AL Comeback Player of the Year because he returned from cancer, right? So
like 5 months.
Yeah, pretty determined guy. The only thing that held him back was his UCL. So, have pretty good reasons not to play baseball. I don't think that he wants to be away from the sport. So there was a possibility you pick up the option and he still pitches for you late in the season. Obviously, the Sox don't need a $15 million closer after they just lost 100 games, but we all think, or at least coming from Jerry Reinsdorf's mouth, that they want to be competitive, that they want to get this turned around as quick as possible. So, I mean, it's probably in good graces after Liam told the media that he's spoken with Jerry Reinsdorf and kind of, right? That he kind of pleaded his case to Jerry.
He did this after. He said this after the surgery. He said that he talked to Jerry to make sure it was okay that he hung around the team. That he was around the team, because here's the thing: if you have Tommy John surgery, you're out. You can go rehab however you want. Liam Hendriks was in that clubhouse every single day, all day, every single day in uniform. You know what I mean? Like, he is someone who it was very important to him to be in that clubhouse, to be around the team, to be a part of what that team was going through. And obviously last year it was something negative, but when you talk to him at the end of the year, he's talking about, young guys being able to do something new for this team, and it sounded like he wanted to be a part of it. So that's the conversation that he had with Jerry during the summer earlier in the year when he had that. As of the end of the season, he told us he had not spoken with Chris Getz yet about the option. Obviously, that's a month and a half ago at this point. I'm sure those conversations have been had since, particularly if the White Sox have come to a conclusion there. But listen, when we say all 30 teams should be chomping at the bit to get this guy into their organization, it doesn't mean that it's over for the White Sox. Like the White Sox have a tremendous relationship with Liam Hendriks. He and his wife have done so many good things in the community here since they arrived, as we chronicled in detail earlier this year. You would think that they would be able to have a very easy dialogue with Liam if they were interested in a reunion. We don't know if that's the case. Obviously, we'll ask next week when we talk to Chris Getz down in Arizona, but I don't think the book is closed, but now what they have to do is compete with 29 other teams to try and get him back here.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the 2-year deal thing makes sense where you're just taking a redshirt year on 2024, and if he does come back, that's found money. And then 2025, he's ready to go, and Liam's going to be chomping at the bit to actually get on the mound and deliver how he does in every day when he was a reliever of the year twice in a row.
We found, yesterday it was reported that the Dodgers worked out an extension with Max Muncy. So, would you think that if this report was, do you think that the wording of the report is interesting, saying that they're just declining the option? Because again, they have the opportunity to work out a different deal with Liam. They have the ability to have exclusive negotiation rights.
I don't think it's an exclusive thing, but I guess it would be because he's technically still under contract, right?
Because Muncy's was a team option, and they extended him for 2 years.
The idea is that teams right now can talk to free agents.
Yes.
They can right now. They can't. No free agents can sign until Monday.
Yeah.
So I guess you're right in saying that they haven't declined if they haven't officially declined the option yet, he's still under contract, right? So I suppose perhaps exclusive is an appropriate word in this regard.
I just think, it seems like they're letting him go out to the market. So I understand, hey, he could come back. And I just feel like I'm blinded by my love of Liam Hendriks. Look what him and his wife do in the community. Look what he's done for animals in the LGBT community. He's great. He's a great guy. He's worked his ass off to come back from cancer, and everyone wanted to see that moment, and he came out and was fantastic.
Loves Legos.
Right? Oh, he loves Legos, Monica and Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very lovable guy, but also I'm a person that was complaining about the bullpen spending. Is Chris Getz now saying, hey, we just lost 100 games. He's a great person, but we have to make the hard decision to not pay this guy $15 million because we aren't a team that needs a $15 million closer. Maybe that budget is well spent, $13.5 million to fill second base or right field rather than a guy that's going to pitch 67 innings.
But then it comes down again.
Not even in 2024.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't come close to that, I would imagine. But it comes down to, again, the same question we've been asking over and over again. When does Chris Getz want this White Sox team to be competitive? Because if the answer is next year, then yeah, you need that extra $13.5 million to go try to fill all of these holes, one of which, by the way, is closer. Yep. But if the answer is 2025, and that's when Liam Hendriks is going to be healthy again, boy, this makes a lot of sense to do that to your deal. We're not advocating for anything here necessarily, or I'm not advocating for anything necessarily. I'm just saying we have seen this before. The relationship that they have with this player, the importance that he has in that clubhouse, it would seem that things could line up to make something like that make an awful lot of sense. But you're absolutely right as well in saying they just knocked down what was a $15 million commitment for 2024 only to a $1.5 million commitment times 10 for the next thing. That's a big deal in terms of next year's payroll, and they got a lot of spots on that roster to fill out.
And I'm sure that him being on the IL makes this an easy decision for Chris Getz. But if he was healthy, I don't know if they're picking it up. Like you said, $15 million for a 100-loss team, a closer on a bad team is no good. And it kind of brings up Sergio Santos' name. He was on a bad team when he was dominating, and that's why he got traded to Toronto.
But then that becomes a Tim Anderson question where it's like, we'll just pick it up and trade him. If he's healthy, you know what I mean?
Right,
like
yeah.
that's a different thing altogether. But this is just such a unique situation because of the health, because of the guy, because of the team, because of the budget. Like everything is nothing here is like an everyday decision, and I'm sure that this was not a decision that Chris Getz made lightly. If this is the one that ends up being what was reported,
right? Again, because like, how can you not love Liam Hendriks? He seems like a winner on and off the field. But like, you look at the Rangers, they're not spending $15 million. Like they spent $15 million on Leclerc when they signed him in 2019, and he's been there forever, right? I mean, he's been there since 2016, and I think they drafted him or at least signed him. So I mean, like you can see the blueprint. Like you don't have to have a $15 million closer to win in baseball. So I just wonder if this might also be a Getz, I don't know, philosophy thing. Because again, that $13.5 million is a lot better spent on a guy that's going to play like 162 games at second base.
I mean, they purged
Whit
all.
Merrifield.
They purged all the high-priced relievers, so maybe that is a Chris Getz thing. And I know Chris Getz wasn't part of the August trades necessarily, and that was more Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn. But there's no more high-priced free agent or relievers back there. The high-priced guy, I think now, is Aaron Bummer, who's not making that much money himself.
Yeah, 5.5 I think Bummer is off the top of my head. And I don't think anyone else is over $2 million.
Yeah.
If they pick up Tukey, he's at 1.7, and I'd assume
he's ARB eligible.
Is he ARB eligible?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does he not have a flat rate? Is it just not they pick him up?
No.
Okay.
No. They have to agree to terms.
And again, this is why baseball is just not easily picked up by the youth. What is arbitration?
Oh,
explain arbitration.
How much
in a
time
minute.
you got?
A minute.
A minute?
You present a number, the team presents a number,
and then
the mediator picks one of those numbers.
Right, but that's only if you go to arbitration, and you normally don't go to arbitration. You normally just settle on a deal by negotiating it, but it only applies to guys who have been in the league for a certain amount of time, but not a certain amount of time.
How fun.
Yeah.
And then teams are like, we're not going to bring you up until like May 12th. And so that year doesn't count. And then your clock doesn't start until year 4, or year 5 until everybody else's clock starts on year 4.
And you're trying to tell me this is easier to understand sport than soccer?
And if you start in April with your team and you're really good, your team gets a first-round draft pick. So, right? Didn't J-Rod have like that crazy year as a rookie? So they were like, there's that new rule that if you play a rookie right away and don't F with his service time, you get rewarded as a team. Exactly. Just roll your eyes. Smash that like button, as Beef is saying. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Paul Konerko likes is nice, but we'd like to maybe get to a Joe Creedy. Maybe get to a Bubba Jenks. Maybe get to a Liam Hendriks. Right?
How about Alex Rios?
51.
Yeah,
there you go. Peyton saying my like button has been obliterated. So we appreciate that.
How about a Keenan Milton?
Oh, that'd be great. AKA Manny Ramirez.
99.
99.
Oh, all right,
it's as high as you can go with players.
Yeah, likes we could go infinity.
Like in 1,000 years, there's going to be at least 3 numbers on jerseys.
You brought
won't
up
be here though.
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
No.
Baseball will be here in 1,000 years.
Oh yeah,
wow,
it'll be so terrible. People still won't know how to.
People still won't be able to explain arbitration.
What is this? How old's stickball?
And Scherzer will still be out there trying to pitch.
You brought up
Verlander.
Getz not being a part of those August trades. We did have a little bit of interesting news from the Dodgers. They are reportedly declining Lance Lynn's option. So that trade looks a lot better if you're the White Sox. We just got rid of Lance Lynn. And hey, you need a starting pitcher. So, I mean, go trade Lance Lynn for Nick Nastrini and
go get Lance Lynn back?
Go get Lance Lynn back.
And Leisure's there too?
Oh, Leisure, right.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great trade. I was so shocked at the time that they got anything for Lance Lynn. I know he's pitching a little bit better than he was before earlier in the year, but I was like, ooh, the Dodgers really need starting pitchers, and Lance Lynn's a guy, I guess so. And, I mean, Joe Kelly was decent for him, but damn, Lance Lynn, I don't know what happened this year.
I mean, he gave up too many home runs is what happened.
Like 40 plus?
Well, he gave up 4 in 1 inning in the playoffs. That's not good.
I mean,
what did he take him out?
Guys
After 2, I'm like, I'm good. Thank you, Lance. Get your ass out.
He made 32 starts and, struck out 191. That's posting. I mean, there's, his ERA might have been his 5.75.
Hey, some of his strikeout numbers were the best of his career. You can see why a team would have wanted to trade for him after seeing that in the middle of the year. Now, I think the White Sox probably got the better end of that deal. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, he was a lot better with LA too, to be fair. I mean, 64 innings, 4.36 ERA. He did get give up 16 home runs still. But his ERA plus was 100. It was 69. Nice with the White Sox. So he was more average with the Dodgers. So he's average, throws a lot of innings. It's good for the White Sox. Just had a down year. He's perfect for Brian Bannister. I'm now talking myself into
God
Lions
damn
line.
it.
All right. Finally, Whit Merrifield's option was declined, and
It was a mutual, right?
It was a mutual.
Yeah.
And and let me tell you, the Toronto Blue Jays were not
said, no,
interested.
thank you. Yeah.
Bruce Levine of 670 The Score is reporting that the White Sox have interest in Whit Merrifield. It is destined. It is just written in stone at this point that Salvi Perez and Whit Merrifield will be Chicago White Sox in 2024.
I'm just trying to figure out how they're getting Salvador Perez. Like somebody brought up like a one-for-one swap with you take my junk, I take your junk, Yohan Moncada for Salvador Perez. I don't think I would like that because, Yohan would turn it on in Kansas City and be the guy that we need him to be.
Well, and also their guy is like one of the best players in the history of their franchise.
Well, not the third baseman, though.
No, the Royals guy, Salvador Perez.
Oh, yeah.
You're calling him junk.
But he's making $20 million. He's not really performing
It's
up
like
to that.
it's like calling Konerko junk. You gonna do that?
In his last couple of years, it was pretty bad. But
You guys are heartless.
He was kind of bad. But yeah, I mean, we talked about this before the show. Is Whit Merrifield the guy that you want as a free agent?
No.
Exactly. Is
But
he
it's
better
destined.
than every single White Sox second baseman that suited up?
Here's how you
last
phrase
year?
that. Here's how you phrase that question, Herb. Is he the guy that you want for a White Sox free agent? And Sean says no. Is he a guy you want as a White Sox free agent? And Sean can go, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the game of is he better than Gavin Sheets is not fun. Yes.
No,
I mean,
but
is Whit Merrifield better than Gavin Sheets? 100% yes. So when you're just saying, comparing it to the current White Sox roster, it doesn't mean anything because they all suck.
You want this,
getting
you
better.
want this team to get better. He would make this team better.
Yeah, death by 1,000 cuts.
It's like-
and soon we will get there.
Here's -1. He's 0.
Oh God, we got a super chat from your guy Connor Smith, and he's our guy too. 200 plus ERA plus closing. What?
Here you go.
Okay,
You want the
please
translation?
decipher.
Closers, CP, who had a 200 or higher ERA plus in a single season. And you got 2003 Damaso Marte at 293. Holy smokes.
No.
2004 Shingo Takatsu at 204. And Dustin Hermanson in the year 2005, 221.
So they went back to back to back.
3 straight years of having, I guess, the best closer in baseball. Those numbers are gigantic.
Oh, that's Sox closers with 200 ERA plus.
Correct.
Since
Yes.
Okay, cool. That second one makes a lot more sense.
So you're telling me that those 3 guys in those years were all better than the 2 years of Hendricks that they had?
Oh yeah. Well, everyone hated Liam Hendriks, remember? Because he gave up a home run like once a month, and people were like, he sucks.
Well, I'm not. I don't care what people think about him. I'm talking the actual ERA plus number.
173 was his highest.
And that
so he
was-
went 240 in 2019, 238 in the Disney year.
So those were both with the A's.
Yeah. But 173, 142, and then 88 this
Last
year.
year.
But that's 5 innings.
Interesting. The golden era of White Sox closers, the mid 2000s.
But do they? We gotta see if those guys pitched like 70 innings too.
Shingo
Like, did any of those guys have 35 plus?
Hermanson
saves?
didn't pitch a lot in 2005 because he got hurt. Both Shingo and Hermy got hurt in 2005. That's why Bobby Jenks was necessary. So I don't know how much Dustin Hermanson pitched, but he pitched very well in his minor time.
So Damaso Marte was insane. 79 innings, posting a 293 ERA.
Go
plus.
ahead, Jerry Manuel.
How is he not the Cy Young?
Jerry Manuel out here just
insane.
throwing people out there?
Oh my God.
damn, arms falling off.
He was. I mean, hey, why not? He was cooking. Hermy. In his second to last season, I mean, he really went out in flames. 221 ERA plus in his last full season, but only 57 innings. And then who was the other guy? Shingo
and
Takatsu.
Shingo in 04. What did he say? Another super chat. Paul Konerko's age 36 season, he was hitting 399 on May 27th. And Shingo in his first year, 62 innings. So I mean, hey, that's decent. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Okay. Shout out to Connor for those fun stats. Let's take a break and then we'll get into more fun. Oh, that was the thing I wanted to add. So there is going to be one more name on that list since 2000. Closers with 200 plus ERA. It's going to be next year though, 2024. Brian Shaw.
Well, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent
Yeah,
now.
they're going to. I mean,
As
come
of
on.
yesterday, he's a free agent.
Oh, and they're talking to him.
I mean, he's coming back?
You're going to get the email soon.
Three-year deal?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, maybe. Maybe even a fourth team option. Maybe they can give him the old Whit Merrifield, where you're surprised that his team option was $18 million. Brian Shaw will have the fourth year be like $18 million.
Okay.
Team option. I'm calling. Okay, we'll take a break, let you know about our ads, our sponsors, and then we will jump into the in-season tournament talk, and we'll talk about the White Sox being the worst team in baseball. Not my words, ESPN's. We will let you know about our friends over at Circa Sportsbook. It is a great time to sign up for Circa because we got college football this weekend, got NFL this weekend. Bears currently are 7.5-point dogs on the road against the Saints, over under of 41. Justin Fields says he's, gearing up like he's playing. He's doubtful, but hey, maybe Justin Fields will start for the Bears instead of Bajan. One can hope. The Illinois line, you can't bet through the app because of Illinois laws, but you can go visit the Temporary in Waukegan if you want to place a bet on the Illinois line. They are 2-point dogs to Minnesota, and Northwestern, they are 5-point dogs to Iowa. That one's at Wrigley Field. The over-under has climbed from 29.5 to 31. So it is going to be a very, very crazy game on the north side. Winds coming off Lake Michigan, too. It's going to be like a 3-2 game. Stole that from Tom Fornelli. Thank you, Tom. Games will strive to be a -110 split on the Circa Sports menu, unlike other sports books, which may use a -115 or -120 split. So shop around. Circa is always proud of their odds and their options for bettors. They are always trying to provide the best options for you. Why place the same bet on a different sports book at -115 when it's -110 on Circa? If you're placing a bet at -115, that means less money to you. All right, if you're placing $25 down, you're making $24.25, I think, on a -110 bet. If it's -115, you're around $23. I mean, you're just taking money away from yourself. So sign up for Circa Sportsbook. It is what any smart sports bettor does. It is the world's largest sportsbook as well. So you are going to get a ton of options, and they also have great customer support. So there are real people behind the Circa Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use chatbots. All aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app. That's circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. We got, I think, a watch party. Well, I guess we got the tailgates coming up next on November 9th. I'm not going to, I don't know.
But we do have a takeover tomorrow with the Blackhawks.
Okay. I don't
at the United Center.
Okay, that should be a good time. I feel like there was something to plug. I don't know if this should be plugging in here, but I can plug the tailgate on November 9th. The Bears are going to be taking on the Panthers, and you can go to allchgo.com to check out the tickets for that event. If you or somebody you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537, text GMB 833-234, or visit areyoureallywinning.com. Also want to let you know about Empire today. Our friends at Empire are trying to help you put the best quality floors in your home today. With Empire today, you get shop-at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire today is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they have copycats, but those copycats can't beat Empire on their quality, service, speed, so those copycats advertise low-quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Those Empire won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does that are putting floors in your home that those copycats wouldn't put in their owns.
What?
Right.
Those copycats?
Jerks.
Unbelievable.
Empire aren't jerks. Empire is really nice, and they have been in business for a very long time. They are a Chicago force. You've been seeing their commercials for a very long time because they are a trusted brand. They keep shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection, and their philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes, and what they leave out of their selection is just as important as what they put in. Empire's product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples each year to find the perfect styles for your home, and you can see those styles with their virtual floor designer. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Visit empiretoday.com/CHGO for details. Okay. We are good with all the super chats. Let's get into the White Sox being terrible. Just awful. The Rangers win the World Series, and ESPN has the power rankings go up. Braves number 1, Rangers 2. You scroll to find the White Sox. You scroll to find the White Sox. You scroll to find the White Sox. Oh, dead last. 30th out of 30. And I just have a lot of questions for you guys. Mainly, am I wrong to think, and no offense to DNVR, that the Rockies are the worst team in baseball? What are we doing here? I mean, the Rockies do not have Luis Robert Jr. The White Sox do. I feel like that's a really big separator here with these teams. The Rockies play in the toughest division with the Diamondbacks, who finished, fourth, third, and made it all the way to the World Series?
Yep.
I mean,
I think they are taking that into account, that the White Sox are bad in a bad division. Now the Rockies are bad in a good division, a good competitive division, and sometimes they give those guys hell. So, yep, I wouldn't say the White Sox are the worst team in baseball, but quibbling about 28th, 29th, and 30th, they might be down there. I mean, the A's, somebody brings up the A's. The facilities are bad, but every 3 to 4 years, A's get some guy you've never heard of, some guys you never heard of, and they perform well and eventually go to the playoffs. Well, this was mostly back in the day, when Billy Beane was running things on a day-to-day basis. But every once in a while, those A's do churn in some good-ass players, and so you can never count them out from competing in the AL West. Yeah, the White Sox with the moves have been uninspiring. People can look at the 2 starters they have returning as starting pitchers. Even those 2 guys have question marks by their names, and you got to fill out the rest of the roster. So while ESPN has been a thing and a thorn in White Sox sides for a long time, and White Sox fan side for forgetting the World Series and that they had participated in the 2005 World Series and won it, I think they're not too far off than calling the White Sox the worst team in baseball, or in their power rankings, the 30th team in baseball. Because who is there, except for Luis Robert, to get excited about? Who is there to show that they're going to be propelled next year? Like, I would say Cease, but you don't know what you're going to get next year. You can get the Cease that showed up in 2023. I prefer the one that showed up in 2022, but I don't know who's going to be there. And then all the rest of that is question marks, a bunch of question marks. At least you know that Brendan Doyle is going to give you quality defense. I tried, Sean. I'm sorry.
You tried.
And also, as you said, the All-Star MVP resides in Colorado.
That's true. I mean, they got the White Sox beat a catcher. That's for sure.
He's 32, though.
And their star free agent never plays for them.
Yes, Chris Bryant is oft hurt. He's natural White Sox.
The Rockies have him beat on attendance. That's for sure. I mean, there's a check in the Rockies box. I mean, the White Sox fell from 27 to 30th because of the firing of Kenny and Rick, because of the 101 games and 101 losses. But I don't know.
Ryan McMahon, no, you're not a fan? Huh? Ryan McMahon, you're not a fan of? Chuck Nasty, not a fan of?
He's just naming Rockies.
Yeah. You didn't know these
I mean,
people?
to be fair to the Rockies.
Mike Hampton.
They, I
Clint
know
Barmas.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if those guys are active.
Yorvich Torrealba.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's digging in the crates for those people.
I mean, why not mention Dante Bichette? I mean, you can mention who's the guy that was hitting home runs to the moon out there? Galarraga.
Yeah, these are famously good players, though. I was just trying to name randos. Yeah. I mean, Mike Hampton's pretty famous, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Clint Barmas was. That's
Did he win Rookie of the Year one year? Mm-hmm. Was he a Rookie of the Year, Clint Barmas?
He was really good early, and then he sucked after that.
He's the guy who fell down the stairs carrying venison.
Hey, it's MLB post dead animal season. Every MLB player is now posting all of their hunting kills on Instagram. What
Matt
a great
Holliday
app!
Still hasn't touched home plate, by the way.
Cool. You care?
Yes, I'm still pissed. As a secondary Padre fan, I'm still pissed.
I forgot.
But I am going
Padres.
on with Susie from DNVR Rockies, and we're going to be talking about this specific thing. And I would say, yeah, the White Sox and the Rockies are, and probably the A's in that mix too, are probably competing for the last spot in Major League Baseball. But I think the Rockies have a better future and a better outlook on 2024 than the White Sox, as we currently state. Now, Chris Getz can go out and do some things where, like, okay, if the White Sox have improved, they're going to be a better team, maybe not top of the AL Central better, but average, back to 81 and 81, which I don't think the Rockies will get to.
Clint Barmas, 8th in Rookie of the Year voting in 2005.
There you go.
Only played 81 games. Yeah, shout out to Glenn Parmas. I don't know. I mean, it's weird too, just because I mean, you mentioned ESPN being a thorn in the side of White Sox fans, but I'm pretty sure I'm trying to find this. Didn't Jeff Passan call them like the team of the future at one point? Didn't he say like I think it was like like let's predict the future, like who's gonna win the most this decade? So it was like decade predictions, and I'm pretty sure Jeff Passan was like, this team's gonna win at least
again,
two World Series. I know it's obviously, but it's a crazy fall from grace from literally this team being so highly thought after, these guys still being under contract, Eloy, Luis, Yohan, Tim, and they just sucked. They're just the worst team in baseball. How fun? I mean, I don't know, just bringing it up to feel good Friday story.
My thoughts on this is I always caution folks to not get worked up about what just one person's opinion is over at, who's just doing a blog post that they're been asked to do by their editor. So keep that in mind. Just because it's on ESPN's website doesn't mean that, they're doomed. They've been cemented as the worst team from a record standpoint in 2024. But I think if you read the little blurb that accompanied it there, it highlighted everything that has happened in 2023 for the White Sox. And I think that probably has a big scarring effect in the mind of people who don't follow this team on a daily basis, as well as those who do, that what you just said, right? I mean, even at the beginning of this year or this season, the expectation was, they're going to be one of the best teams in the American League Central. They are talking about themselves as a playoff contender, that kind of thing. And our opinion was that everything went wrong in 2022. How could it possibly couldn't happen again in 2023? And then you remember August, just the list of stuff that happened in August was just insane, to go along with the fact that they played pretty poor baseball up until that point. So to drop from a team where the expectation was playoffs or it's going to be a disappointment to 101 losses and everything that comes along with it. Front office change for a team that hadn't made it in 25 years. All the players from the roster that could be traded or gotten rid of are gone. We're talking about an offseason in which we don't even know if they're going to set themselves up to compete in 2024. It is a large tumble. Plus, the thing that probably generated the most headlines from this team all year, the two things were, from a sports perspective, Tim getting punched in the face on the field, and from a news perspective, someone in the stadium being struck by a bullet. So these are not the kind of headlines that are conducive to people going, oh, what a great ship they're running over there. We should rate them really high. Like you said, Herb, 27th, 30th, does it really matter? You've seen where the White Sox have gone from a team that was not just on the rise, but there, ready to compete, and just a fall right off a cliff. I
mean, the White Sox have outspent the Rockies in the past 3 years. I don't expect that to change, and especially when Jerry Reinsdorf's like, we're going to compete. We're gonna go full steam ahead. I mean, like, especially with Liam's option being declined, and there's $13.5 million you think more available. Like, don't you think the White Sox? I mean, I'm just trying to. I'm a degenerate. I'm trying to handicap everything. If we see the odds for World Series posted, you think the White Sox are going to have worse odds than the Rockies to win it all next year?
The White Sox didn't even.
They both suck.
White Sox didn't even finish last in their own division.
No, but
that's true. I mean, like, are the Royals even better than them? I'm just trying to Maybe the vibes are the worst in baseball, but there's no way that they are the worst team in baseball. But they're not going to have the worst record in 2024.
No, but think of how well the Royals played down the stretch, and that's what ESPN people are probably thinking of. Another thing I have problems with this actual article is not the actual article, it's the way too early. Like, either say it with your chest or don't. Like, don't apologize to your readers that, hey, this is way too early, but here comes the power rankings. Go ahead, throw it out there. Say it with your chest.
That's the whole point, though. Yeah. Because there's about to be an entire offseason where everybody's roster is going to change.
Yeah, but just put it out there. Don't, you're pre-apologizing to your audience, this is way too early. Here you go anyways.
This is like your whole thing of emergency podcast. Yes. This is just you quibbling over words.
I'm very pedantic. Have you not met me?
It's just give it up.
No.
Hey, so you want it to be a preemptive what a catchy headline. A preemptive free agent power ranking.
Well, just don't send it out then. I know that this person has more bosses than I do and saying, hey, send out a thing. We need some clicks on this shit.
And it worked because here we are doing a whole thing about it.
But just send it out. It's like, here are the power rankings. If you don't like them, great. They can adjust. They can adjust. These are way too early power rankings. I don't think it's
saying, please like our power ratings. That's not the headline.
I am genuinely pleased, though, that instead of being quote-unquote mad that oh my God, how could they have ranked the White Sox 30 out of 30? Herb's biggest problem with these is the way that the headline was phrased.
Yes.
And that is making me happy that we don't have to dedicate more time to talking about one guy's opinion about the worst team in baseball.
We're done. Well, it was less about his opinion. It's more about
her.
I
don't know who wrote it.
David Schoenfeld.
Oh, then his.
I said his because it's
or they.
I guess, but I'm pretty sure David's Schoenfeld is a he.
I mean, he might prefer they them pronouns.
You don't know. Have you read his?
I'll go check now. Herb.
Check his LinkedIn.
Christ.
It's Friday. We're having a good time.
Fun with words with Herb Lawrence today.
Pedantic Herb.
I have no idea.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, he's he. He's he.
We don't know that. Whatever. Let's take a break. The Drops by Soul Savvy app makes it easy to keep up with all the latest news, releases, raffles, and sales in the sneaker world. It is your one-stop shop for everything sneakers. Gotta check them out for their drop alert instant notifications. You'll never miss a release again. You'll get instantly notified whenever your size is available to buy. They also have free raffle management, so you can keep track of all the raffles that happen in the sneaker world with their raffle tracker and the release calendar. Accurate release calendars will keep you up to date on releases that are upcoming. Whether you are a casual buyer or an all-out sneakerhead, Soul Savvy has something for you with 3 different levels: the basic version, which is free, Mobile Plus, or Premium. So you can go try them out with the basic version. Download the app today, Drops by Soul Savvy app. And if you are a crazy sneakerhead, we're turning you on. Check out the Mobile Plus or Premium options. I know our guy Cody, who's the biggest sneakerhead in here, raves about the Premium features and the Premium option that he has, and especially because I know he's probably going to be on the Soul Savvy app tomorrow for their drop this Saturday, November 4th. The Air Jordan 1 Reimagined Royal drops. The Drops by Soul Savvy app will notify you when and where it's dropping. So download the app and never miss a release. Sign up for Soul Savvy by clicking the links in the description below or visiting links.soulsavvy.com/CHGO, or head over to the App Store and download the Drops by Soul Savvy app. links.soulsavvy.com/CHGO, or head over to the App Store and download the Drops by Soul Savvy app.
You shouldn't have to worry when buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time has fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. And I've told this story a minute of time. I was going to Atlanta last year with Courtney, and we were looking for seats, and Game Time hooked it up. We found these seats in a great section, and I wanted to test their 110% guarantee to having the lowest price. So I went to a secondary site. One site did have it for a lower price. I emailed Game Time, and within 12 minutes, I got the difference plus 110% of the difference in my account, which was $46 immediately. And that's how Game Time works. Customer service was on point, too. Last-minute deals, flash deals, zone deals. Game Time makes it easy. Easy to find, buy your tickets for every kind of event in your area. I just looked up the Bulls tickets for tonight's in-season tournament. You get in the building for $43 for NBA game in-season tournament. The inaugural in-season tournament in Chicago, you'll be there.
In CHGO Bulls, I'm assuming Will Gottlieb just posted a photo of him walking into the United Center and seeing the new floor. So go check out @CHGO_Bulls if you want to see the new floor.
He saw red.
He saw red. Yes, he did. That's the quote.
Literally.
I'm assuming you read it.
See the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. All-in prices show your total up front, so you know what you're getting, and it's not with hidden fees and deals like that. Buy a ticket in seconds with 2 clicks of the app. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts, and it's the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. By the way, going to see Michael J. tomorrow. Use Game Time for that. With zone deals, you can pick the section, and the Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings. And a Game Time guarantee, as I told you, It means you get the best seats for the lowest price. If you don't, they'll give you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHGO, $20 off. Game Time. Download it right now. It's the last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
Let's jump into our final topic here, and it is about what you just talked about, the in-season tournament. The NBA is having an in-season tournament, which will culminate in December, right?
Yep.
Will culminate in December. It's basically a way to get more money to the players with each win. There's a certain amount of money that will be granted to each player.
I saw the coaches, too. Get some more money
too.
also,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, sweet. So these are regular season games that are happening. So tonight's game between the Bulls and Magic will count towards the Bulls' in-season record, but also will count towards the Pool C in-season tournament. What do we make of this? Is this convoluted?
Yes.
Do we like this? Can convoluted things be nice?
Convoluted things can be nice. I don't see under any circumstances how, other than the broadcast presentation, this is any different than just the game they played the other night, right?
Right.
I mean, it's a regular season game.
Correct.
Against the team they were going to play anyway. Mm-hmm. The only caveat being that if they win this, it's better for the standings of something that they're competing for but not really competing for. Like, it's kind of why don't they just block out the middle of the season and play an actual tournament? That makes more sense, right? And granted, that would take up more time, and you don't have those games. You would have to shave down the number of regular season games to accompany that, I'm sure. But like, this is just out of this world, arbitrary to me. Why is it this game that counts for the tournament other than the next game? Right?
Yeah. You said exactly what I was going to say. That's 100%. Like, there's people who are on the radio today. I was listening to the Score, and they had Kendall Gill, who is part of his job is to know about the in-season tournament. And he was like, they haven't played a game. I know the basics that everybody else knows. I don't know more until I see the games and what it actually does. Like, do the Bulls play harder today? Do they think that, oh, man, if we win this game, we can go to Vegas eventually and lose to the Spurs in a semifinal game? No, they don't care about this.
But a semifinal game that is for a trophy that is not the main one that they're playing for.
Do they get rings? Are Bulls fans going to be like, if they win this tournament, they're like, baby, we're the in-season tournament champions.
Are they going to print up shirts?
Yeah, we're going to be like, yeah, exactly.
Like the Rangers had the shirts on the other night?
Are they going to be like Group C champions?
Banners?
Yeah,
Are there going to be banners?
We were 2023 Group C in-season tournament champions.
In-season tournament champs. Like, it's good. I would want it on the backside of the NBA schedule because that's
what the playoffs are, Herb.
Yeah, but I know, but like February to like the beginning of April, it's just such a slog. It's so, especially if your team's like in that no man's land and we're not going anywhere. At least that would give fans of those teams, like the last place teams, something to look forward to. Maybe my team can catch one of those teams that is struggling or trying to sit out players. They can go and grab a game versus them. They can win another game versus another team that's trying to just get to the playoffs and doesn't care about this bullshit game, and they can get an in-season tournament. Beginning of the year, everybody's playing hard, everybody's fresh, and so I get why they're playing it now, but I think it would do better if they reimagine it next year, back of the schedule instead of the front of the schedule.
Well, too, I think also it probably gives more incentive to quit in the last half of the season. There's no the in-season tournament is already over.
Yeah.
None of these
What are you
games matter.
talking about?
Well, like,
why do people care about winning an in-season tournament? They're trying to win the championship.
This is a championship.
It's just...
And they win money.
There's a trophy.
There's money.
There's a trophy. I don't know how well, like, do you go in the off season and you're like, hey, man, look at that ring. In-season trophy champion, bro. What you got? Oh, I got the real championship.
Imagine if the Bulls win the in-season tournament championship and they get the trophy. You could go to the Advocate Center where they will have on display 6 NBA championship trophies and then one little in-season tournament trophy that's like half the size, and you're going to be like, what is this?
I bet money they're going to put it right there, though, too.
What is
within
this?
it? Like, this is our championships right here.
Players on the winning team will each get $500,000, which is more than Eric Armstead's game check. The San Francisco 49ers posting his game check.
That's not a lot of money.
It's post-tax.
Okay.
I mean, San Francisco, very, very taxed out there. Runners-up will get $200K. Losing players of the semifinals will each get $100K, and losing players of the quarterfinals will each get $50K.
Yeah, that was an appropriate sound effect. Great drop, Sarah, because that sums it all up, doesn't it?
Oh, and there will be a most valuable player award for the in-season tournament.
Does he get more money?
Yeah, will it be the catcher from the Rockies?
Will they run it back? Like if the Bulls win the in-season tournament, it's like, well, this team, they won the in-season tournament.
Like next year, you mean?
Like
defending in-season tournament champs?
This causes them to like pick
Even
up
though
Pat Williams' option or whatever, and Zach LaVine gets an extension again or something.
Pat Williams only balls out in the in-season tournament games.
He's really got that in-season tournament dog in him.
Yep.
I don't know.
He's like, when I was a kid, I used to watch the in-season tournament. Man, finally here. So great.
I've always dreamed of a day like this. Mercy. All right, so you had something proposed for MLB?
Yes. So your original prompt was, should there be a baseball version of this, and if so, what? Should there be? Absolutely not. But if you were
I'm
like,
surprised you have something.
if you were like,
Because it seems like you'd just be totally against it.
if I got a call right now from Rob Manfred and he was like, Vinny, we're doing an in-season tournament, but I have no idea what to make it. We have to do it. And you have to come up with something.
Your first question would be like, how'd you get my number, Rob? And
it'd be Jerry Seinfeld. Who is this? But so what I would say is, you have to make it matter to the big thing, to the actual playoffs, the actual trophy. So here you go. I don't know if every minor league used to do this, but the Midwest League, where the my hometown Kane County Cougars used to play,
Somewhere.
It's that way. They had first half champions.
yes.
And those teams were guaranteed spots in the playoffs. So here you go. At the end of the first half, right before the All-Star break, the top two teams, or the top team in each league, is the first half champion. They're guaranteed a playoff spot. Then they play each other in a 3-game series on the back half of the All-Star week. So the All-Star break goes from just half a week to a full week. The weekend is the in-season tournament, just AL champ versus NL champ, and they're guaranteed a playoff spot.
I kind of like having just it be a 1-game final.
Sure.
Because then you could just do it on the All-Star game day and maybe make that a little more important.
I think
or maybe
you
you could
do it the day after the All-Star game.
So
And then
you got
none of
home
those
run
teams
derby.
none of those teams' players would probably be in the All-Star game.
Right.
Or maybe they would, but they might not. But then there you go. Play at neutral site at the game at the stadium where the All-Star game is. Just add it to All-Star.
And then that way too, you get like the best pitching matchup you can get, right?
Ace versus ace, right? Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And also, you would have less fights because then Yasmani wouldn't be leaving to get some time with his family. But my big-time thing is they're going to be changing the floors for the NBA. You change the grass for the in-season tournament for baseball.
Blue,
Red,
take some tips
blue,
from
like
Boise State.
Eastern Washington's got red grass or red turf. Just make it really weird.
And here's another thing.
Kill grass
Here's another
for no
thing.
reason.
Yes.
Maybe you don't do it at where the All-Star game is, because that's usually at a big league stadium. You make the quote-unquote Field of Dreams game or whatever that is that year. You do not announce who it is ahead of time. The winner, the first half champions play the Field of Dreams game or whatever that becomes.
Theo's going to be giving you a call, man. You got these ideas. Theo Epstein. He made the pitch clock. He made all these new rules. Vinny's got the new rules that are nice.
Didn't you hear Rob Manfred's calling me?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the ideas. These are Theo's ideas and Vinny's.
Also, too, you're shocked that Rob Manfred can get Vinnie Duber's phone number?
Yes.
Not, but like we were so surprised. Like we're not surprised that Tony La Russa can make a few phone calls, pull a few strings, and make it into the World Series box.
You think
but,
he was asking
guys
around
get
for
in?
tickets?
No.
Like, oh man, anybody got any tickets?
Yeah, no, I think
I'm sure he was called up.
I think he scalped them.
No, he just walked to the building. Is like,
I'm a Hall of Famer baseball
and walk
person.
past the security guy. Just walk to the side of him.
Remember when I used to be the head of baseball operations in this very
I'm
building?
going right past you. Thank you, though.
Hello, Mike. I'm walking in. Why did I bring up Tony? Sorry. I know I
About
bring up
Vinny
Tony.
having his number or
Oh, yeah,
Rob Manfred
right.
having his number.
I mean, Rob Manfred can easily get your phone number.
I'm sure he can.
You have enough connections where Rob Manfred could find
Also,
he could call Scott Merkin.
Not me. I don't have enough. He has enough connections where he could figure it out.
He's the commissioner of baseball.
Commissioner of Major League Baseball.
He probably can get your home phone number, Herb.
Well, I remember. Oh yeah, the baseball book had everybody's numbers in those too back in the day when you had the
before emails were a thing.
You remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Baseball NFL book, the blue book and the black book.
Go buy. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, the Score had a ton of those. Here's the 2005 NBA Black Book. I can't wait to call up the Charlotte Bobcats media relations.
What's Dan O'Shaughnessy doing now?
Being a curmudgeon. All right. Anything else? I mean, I think Vinny solved it.
He did. That was pretty great.
I would
you? Because
I like the
thing.
first half idea because it I think what the
Incentivizes
Yankees would have been
this year.
Yeah, or they would because they had a pretty decent first half.
They were the best team in the American League in the first half.
Maybe it was the Rays.
By the time we got to mid-July,
I don't know.
I think it was the Rays ran away with it, right?
Maybe
Remember?
I'm thinking of a different AL East team, but I like that. And maybe too, it's like, they get their own spot in the playoffs?
No, because you don't want to.
Yes.
You don't want to eliminate the ability for a team to win the division. So it's not like you're just giving this team the 1 seed and saying enough. They're just guaranteed a spot. So the worst that can happen from a team making the playoffs that wouldn't deserve to do it is that the third team in the wild card standings would miss the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, because the team
them.
that was good in the first half and then dropped would be guaranteed the lowest seed.
Do you eliminate? Okay.
But if they do just end up being the best team and win their division, then there you go. They would have made it anyway, but they're guaranteed. They can't fall out of the playoffs once they've won the first half.
So we can eliminate a wild card team, but we can't.
You can't.
Like you wouldn't shrink it.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's interesting.
No. Yeah. So if the White Sox somehow won the in-season tournament, sorry, who was the third place team? Texas?
Yeah.
Sorry, Rangers. Get your ass out of the playoffs. It's White Sox time.
Well, Diamondbacks were the third place team, right?
In the National League.
Sorry, Diamondbacks.
So, I mean, hey, maybe.
The Marlins. Weren't the Marlins?
Oh, yeah,
Marlins. They had to play, the Brewer.
That was very sloppy. Could have been the Cubs. Say Suzuki dropped that damn ball. Sorry.
I'm still not over that.
We were here.
Sorry.
Oh, I know. That's why I brought it up.
That's one of my favorite clips on TikTok when Cody just puts his head down. He thinks he's got the catch, and his late reaction that Seiya dropped the ball. Oh, so beautiful. It's not Cubs Sox thing, but it's just a great film.
You could hear a pin drop in my house because there just was no. I can't. It was. I've already ranted on the Cubs about it.
Yeah, I forgot. You missed the Brant Brown thing,
I give
too.
Seiya an F literally just because of that play.
How old were you in 2003, Sarah?
3.
So this was
good age.
Wow, how about this? Your biggest taste of Cubs heartbreak was this year's Seiya Suzuki preventing them from making the third wild card. Oh,
I know.
boy.
No, I've been lucky because I was 16, when they won the World Series, and I didn't really become a fan until I was like 14. So it's been pretty good.
You
Tough 2 years.
You became a fan right when they came good.
I know.
Good job, Sarah. You chose wisely.
It's been a tough 2 years,
Not making the playoffs. Being respectable, but not making the playoffs.
Right.
Sucks to be you, Sarah.
Fun
Sucks
young team. Oh, man. Yeah.
God damn it.
Hey, I mean, there's going to be the White Sox version of Sarah in 2 years because the 2012 Cubs lost 101 games. So, I mean, so basically, 2025 is going to be a year that's going to create a lot of White Sox fans. And in 2027, the White Sox are going to be World Series champions. You're here first. Nope, and no pushback. So there you go.
Do you want me to do this?
Heard it here first.
Do you want me to do this ad read now?
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah? Okay. All right. So if you're listening to us or watching us right now, you know that there are 5 days of CHGO White Sox podcasts every single week. And you probably also know that there are 5 days of CHGO Bears, 5 days of CHGO Cubs, Blackhawks, Bulls every single week.
Sky?
Well, not 5 days, but
that's true.
They're around as well. And you can get all that, just on the YouTubes. But if you want to go to the next level, right, you go ahead and you join the CHGO Die Hard program. You become a Die Hard. You join our community. Herb's going to model the box while I tell you what you can get. You're going to get access to premium written content at allchgo.com. You're going to get access to discounted shirts over on the CHGO Locker. You're going to get to join the members-only Discord, the CHGO Lounge, where you can chat with us about the White Sox and whatever other Chicago teams you choose to do there. You get a free shirt when you sign up, and you get 20% off of all CHGO events. That includes the Bears tailgate that we're doing a week from yesterday, November 9th, before their game against the Carolina Panthers. So
Bulls takeover coming up soon?
We got Bulls takeovers, Hawks takeovers. You know, it's cold season in Chicago, so that means hockey and basketball. Very exciting stuff. So you can be a part of all of that. All you got to do is go over to allchgo.com, check out what it takes for you to become a diehard, all of those fun goodies that come along with it. We very much appreciate all our diehards who are a part of our community here, and we'd love to have you aboard if you're not already.
And as Sean is wearing today, you get diehard exclusives like this meatball shirt right here. Perfect.
Meatball Island. Nice tag team. Oh, sorry.
You don't have a history of in a clothing store, do you?
No.
That was a poor fold.
I worked at Jewel.
That was more of a wad than
we
a fold.
Didn't fold vegetables.
Well, over at the Kane County Cougar souvenir store, they teach you how to fold real nice.
Show it. Show you off your folding skills. Come on, let's see.
Give me that.
You can't
shirt.
talk a big game and
all
not
right, you do
show
the ad
how
read
good
out
of a
fold in front of
folder
the
you are.
camera here.
Real quick, I love Fly the Dub. Always seeing his name pop up in our chat, and Nady makes a good point. But I don't know what you guys want us to do. Pro sports and the decline in ratings, I could do nothing about that. Wow,
that's
a pretty slick
damn
fold.
great fold.
And
I'll do that now for like my shirts at home too.
Someone commented yesterday about how White Sox fans don't want to hear anything unless Jerry Reinsdorf sells the team. Then you don't want us to have a job. So it's like we really have an impasse.
Yeah, we're here.
It's like
and he's gonna be here.
I'd also like him to sell the team, but hey, we don't have that power. You have the power though to go to foco.com. Get fit in the best sports gear around hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. We have some lovely set decorations like the Southpaw bobblehead on our set right now. They donated a few awesome pieces for our set for when the Cubs are on, when the Blackhawks are on, Bulls are on. So go check out foco.com, FOCO.com, or click the link in the description below for online presale items. Use the promo code CHGO for 10% off. FOCO.com, promo code CHGO for 10% off all non-presale items. All right, let's get out of here because it is a Friday. Any final thoughts? Liam Hendriks option decline. Got some in-season tournament talk. White Sox are the worst team in baseball. Any other thoughts?
No, I just hope that Liam comes back to the White Sox. I hope they find a way where he can come back.
He's going to make some team happy. That's for sure. I mean, and if he does pitch in 2024, man, they're going to get hopefully a really good pitcher to help a playoff run.
Can he be comeback player of the year 2 years in a row?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. All right.
I mean, he's going to miss part of the year. I mean, came back and then came back again.
How about it?
Yeah. He's won a couple reliever of the year awards too. So I mean, he's just got a full hard way. Roberto Clemente award a couple times too.
It's not many.
ESPN award too. ESPN award.
Yeah.
Was it the Jimmy V one?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's got a full trophy.
Multi-time All-Star, even though Sean thinks that belongs in the bathroom instead of on the mantle.
But his is different. Like, I mean, Andrew Benintendi's not swearing on the mound. I mean, Liam Hendriks has etched himself into All-Star game history because he was just swearing up a storm in Colorado. That was always put a hot mic on that guy. I mean, he's a baseball legend. Anyways, shout out to our friends that are watching. Hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
We're at Liam Hendriks likes.
Hey, nice. We got the
it?
Bulls post game tonight for the in-season tournament. So make sure you tune into Will, Big, Dave, and Will. That's
and
me.
Matt.
Peck.
Did I say Will?
You
twice?
said Will twice.
You just love some Gottlieb.
Yeah,
I do.
I bet Peck has some thoughts on the red floor.
Oh yeah. Well, and he's probably gonna throw his hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times.
He just wears several hats and just peel them off as he goes down.
Vinnie Duber at Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. And I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Follow the show at CHGO White Sox. And thank you to Sarah for producing our show. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.